Hey everybody, welcome to Saving Greens Homestead. My name is Keisha, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I welcome you. Today, I am out here looking at my garden for the first time in a week. I live in Southern California in the high desert, and my hubby has been watching my garden and maintaining it through all of these triple-digit weather that we've been having. And so I guess the $1 million question is, did my garden survive while I was gone? And the answer to that question is yes. Look at that. Now, I have not walked through my garden and looked at it up close. This is the first time that I'm laying eyes on it since I've been back. I decided I wanted to do that with you guys. So from the outside looking in, on the surface, it looks great. We're gonna go in and we're gonna see what's new, what's exciting, what's growing, what died, and all of those things. So let's get to it. First, I want to point out that my hubby did a good job cleaning up this area right here for me while I was gone. He swept up all the leaves. I see it in the wheelbarrow over here. Yeah, he cleaned all of this up right here. So it's all nice and clear and easy to walk through. My chickens are all doing fine. In fact, they've been laying like crazy while I was gone. So that's a good thing. Remember my special vantage point that I like to look at in my garden that is just so pretty to me, my favorite spot? Look at this. Those pumpkins are growing crazy over here. Oh my goodness, and my squash plants are huge. Wow. My mimosa tree is putting on seed pods. See those? You guys, like I said, it's always windy here. It's only, 10 o'clock in the morning right now, and it is so windy already. Usually, the winds don't come in until after 12 o'clock. They start picking up. But they decided to pick up early today, I guess. Look at this. And the corn is tall. And this one has tasseled. In a week, it's tasseling now. Look at that. And putting those ears and silks. Oh my goodness. In just a week's time. That volunteer tomato plant actually had some flowers on it. But because of the heat, the flowers are dropping. But it actually had flowers on it. And it's growing right next to this corn in the same little bitty hole right up against the stalk at the bottom. You see that? That is crazy that it volunteered that way. All of these pumpkin flowers that I can see out here. My crepe myrtle. Look at that. That is just so pretty. Nice and green and lush looking. Oh my goodness, look at this. My grass tower. It's got all kinds of beans on here. Oh, and look at the cotton plants, they're huge. They're growing tall. Well, that's good. This pepper plant is growing tall. The onions. They were still small before I left. And I did a video. You're going to have to go back and look at my previous video of my garden here. But I did a video showing the before so that we could look at the after when I got back. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. That cucamelon is growing like crazy. It's not growing up the trellis. I'm gonna have to move him, twine him up the trellis, this bamboo stick here, so that he can grow. But that's growing pretty good. On this side it's a little empty because those other beans did not grow. But look at that spinach. This is Malabar spinach, and it grew. It's growing. So nice. Oh my goodness. I thought I was gonna come back to some empty stems on my tomato plants. And I might have some empty stems. I haven't gotten really far into the tomatoes yet, but my husband knows about hornworms and stuff, and he's pretty good about picking off the hornworms when he finds them. So, wow. I'm just looking at this and taking it all in. The cucumbers are growing. I have tomatoes on this plant here. Lots of good tomatoes. This one looks like it's the Brad's Atomic. Yeah, this looks like Brad's Atomic tomatoes. Right here, look at that big one down there. Oh, my honey weed whacked. I just noticed that. He weed whacked all right here. Got all those grasses that were growing up right here out. I just noticed it right now. Cool. And then on this side, oh my goodness, I've got patty pan squash, huge, in there that I'm gonna have to harvest. I don't know if you guys see it. I see two at right now. So far, I see two of them. That is crazy. And then all this corn is taller than me. And look at, they put on their tassels and stuff. It's so tall. And there's tomatoes all on this tomato plant. I see that it's starting to get a little bit of disease on it here, this plant, but it's fine. It'll pull through. Lots of flowers on there. There's some fruit. I never did get a chance to take this one out and replace it. And so it's still there. I've got beans, ears of corn with the silks hanging out on this one. I mean, there's ears popping out everywhere. Look over there. There's ears popping out everywhere. I love when I go away. I mean, it's a bittersweet experience. I go away, and then when I come back, I'm looking at my garden with fresh new eyes. Look, there's a tomato on there. And I love seeing, mapping the difference and how it looked before I left to how it looks when I get back. The bitter part about it is just when I come back and maybe, you know, it wasn't watered enough or something, and I have to count the losses that it suffered while I was gone. But look at this. Look at this. My hubby weed whacked all the grasses in here too. And he did not kill the watermelon that was trailing in the walkway here. Well, that's good. That's real good. This squash on the end here is doing good. There's another patty pan, but that one is a yellow. The one on the opposite end of this bed is a white. Look at all this corn. Ooh. Oh, I hear the water just turned on right now. Now, if you remember before I left, I did set the water to come on twice a day for 30 minutes. So I was giving it way more water just in case, at least for back here, so it wouldn't suffer if my husband wasn't able to water it or if he wasn't watering it enough. Look at these peppers. Yes, but all this corn, and it's so tall, and there's like 2 growing side by side in a lot of these holes because I planted 2 seeds and I never thinned it out. I just left them all in to see what would happen. So let me see if this one's a good one to show you. Oh, well, this one is. So a lot of them have 2 main stalks coming out of them, out of this little tiny hole. The same size hole as this is what they're growing out of. And actually are doing really good. So, okay, so now this side. Oh, there's ants all over this corn stalk here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's ants all over this one. Oh my goodness, look at that. On the tassel right there, those are ant bodies. Those are a whole bunch of ants. But the silks on this one are starting to turn brown, which is good. It's more pinky right now, but that's just showing me that it's getting pollinated, which is the goal, so we can have corn. That is the goal. So, not everything popped up. You can see a lot of empty holes. Not everything popped up. And the things that did pop up and grew well. But there's a lot of empty spots where things didn't take. At this time of the season, though, you know, it's kind of late to try and plant some of the stuff. Some of the stuff that I'm able to plant again, like there are some, I can plant some corn because I think this variety was like a 68 day or something like that. So I could plant it still. But look at this. I don't know where the watermelon plant ends and where the squash plant begins. This squash plant is traveling. I didn't know that it was a vining one. Look, it connected itself over here. I didn't know this one was a vining one. I thought I separated all the vining ones. And I made sure I looked them up to see which ones were vining and which ones were bush, so that it wouldn't vine all over the place in these beds here. And maybe just bush like how this one bushed. Oh, look at the butterfly. Do you guys see that butterfly? Babe, you did a good job. I'm not going to murder you. Not today. You did a good job. I love that you went ahead and weed whacked everything. And you didn't even kill off branches that I see from weed whacking. So, oh yeah. So there's another empty spot in this one. Now here I had planted loofahs and they still refuse to come up. So I'm going to have to plant different loofah seeds next season, because maybe those seeds just weren't viable or something. The seeds that I planted in there were seeds that I was given. Now this plant looks thinned out, so there might be a hornworm, huh? Oh yeah. My hubby said that this one is recovering from the hornworm damage because a hornworm got to it. Maybe the heat, yeah. I'm gonna have to go through with my black light flashlight and see if there's more that we're just not seeing. Look at that alfalfa plant, it's so pretty. Okay, I changed my setting and maybe you can see it a little bit more better. So vibrant and pretty, the colors on this alfalfa. But, oh my goodness. All my sunflowers are almost done. Right here. There's still some up there. There's some new heads that popped out up there. But, wow. I'm just taking it all in, you guys. Some of my tomato plants didn't do good this year. I'm not having a really good year this year at all. Here's another look at the double stalks coming out of the singular hole there. Out of these little tiny holes. And they're growing well together, doubled up like that. Like, I don't see anything bad. Except for the ants, but ants attack stuff anyways. Like, they still are forming ears. They still have tassels. They're still tall. They're still green. They're still healthy. And I mean, they're green. Sometimes corn will start getting brown leaves at the bottom, like how this one is at the very bottom. But it's barely getting brown leaves at the bottom. So these are very healthy. Very, very healthy. Look at that. My peppers over here that I planted are getting drowned out by these grasses. I have a lot of weeding I need to do. In this bed especially, because this bed I did not put the weed fabric down on. And you can see the difference. And that's the reason why I didn't put it, because I wanted to show the difference in how much weeds grow in this compared to over here. Look, there's hardly any weeding I have to do over here. There's a little bit of grass that's growing up. There's some of the holes here, but other than that, the weed fabric has kept the weeds down. Over here, there's a little bit of grass growing up. A dragonfly. He's over by Sunny. My tomatillos are doing okay. Got flowers on them. Oh, look at my mint didn't get watered. I'm gonna have to water my mint in really good. He got missed and he's all dead and dying. He'll recover, he'll bounce back. My lemon. And I actually got fruit on there too. See, there's a fruit there. And there's more around. They're just hard to see. All my figs, they're doing good. My orange, still hanging in there, doing good with my one orange fruit on there that I could see. It might be more. This tomato. Oh, all my apples fell off. Dang. Look how big these apples are too. Look at this. This is huge. And they all fell off. There's some down there that fell off. Oh, that's a big, big one. I'm gonna have to get these that fell off and see if they're bad. If they're not bad, then I'll take them and eat them. But oh my goodness, them apples got really big. And then there's these apples, my Honeycrisp apples. A lot of them are big and they're just sitting on top of that table because it fell over. Some of them got sunburned really bad. I'm gonna try and show you one. Some of them got sunburned really bad, but these tomatoes didn't really take off the grass. It looks like it could be choking them out a little bit. He's got flowers on him though. I see the flowers. But yeah, they didn't really take off. And there's a number of reasons why my garden didn't do so good this year. I had to start it late because I was trying to redo a lot of things in here to get it reorganized and cleaned up. So that made a difference that I planted everything late. And then I had some issues with starting seeds this year. I had some issues with just a number of things. So this year my garden isn't as big or as successful as it usually would be. But you know what? When things don't necessarily go the way we plan, I'm not going to focus on the negative part. My positive is that next year I'll have more time to put into planting and growing stuff, and I will need less remodel work done because I'll already have it done this season. Now, before I left, I showed you guys how those hornworms demolished this tomato plant. And now look, there's new leaves growing on there. Like I said, they bounce back from it. They do. Tomato plants are very resilient. They will bounce back. And that one did, so that's good. I'm happy that that happened. My raspberries aren't doing so good. I don't know what to do for them either. I think it's the location more than anything. It doesn't like this location. It did produce fruit though, but it's just not looking good right now. Okay, so now I just figured out what's been going on, why this bed is dying off instead of thriving like all the other beds. And it's because the water, when it comes on, it popped off the tubing popped off the main head there. And so there's no water flow going to this bed at all. Just what we hand water. And I don't hand water it very much or very often because it has water going to it. And I didn't realize that the water is just wasting. It's just going down on the side. And it's been doing this for a while. And I didn't realize it because it's covered by this weed fabric. So I'm going to have to move that weed fabric back so I can see what's going on and get it all fixed, so that this can continue to grow. I have watermelon growing here and eggplant, and that's why their growth is stunted. There's corn. All of this should be doing good, and you see how the leaves are curled up like that? Look at that one, shriveling up. It's because of the lack of water. They need water. So I'm gonna have to come out here when that water is done and fix that. And then water these really good. And then, oh, look at this. Hornworm got to that one and stripped him almost bare. He probably moved on to this one because I don't see him on there. So he probably crawled over here to this one to start. I see hornworm poop on the weed fabric there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hornworm poop on there. So he probably is over here now, feasting on this one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come out here with my blacklight flashlight so I can see what's going on. But that's just so sad that this bed is lacking because of that. Look at him walking all through those spider webs. Kitty. Kitty. Why are you off there? No, don't come rub on me with them spider webs on you. I don't want you rubbing all on me. Okay. Let's see, I have one more area that I want to look at and see the progress on it. Oh man, look at this butterfly. I was walking over here to check my peaches. Look at the swallowtail butterfly on there. He's just relaxing. I was checking my peaches here. That one, I don't have very many. These two. And then I have a few over here going up in that corner there. And I believe that's it. There's no more peaches in here with those. I was supposed to cover them up. I'm going to have to, because it's getting to that time where they're going to start ripening up. And I don't want the birds to get my few little peaches that I got here. And he's just going to stay there too. Huh. I don't know what's going on with this peach tree. It looks like he's just not getting enough water. That's why I was thinking that there was something going on. Oh, you know what? That is it. Okay, so not only is this bed not getting any water because of that disconnect, but that tubing where the water is supposed to be, the tubing that's supposed to be connected to the other end of where that water is pouring out is the tubing that leads to this side of the garden. That's why that peach tree is not getting any water, and that's why he's been yellowing this whole time. He's just been yellowing, and I've seen him yellowing and thinning out before I left, and that's why I turned up the water, but it doesn't even matter because it wasn't even getting over here. Shoot. So I gotta correct that so that he can get better. Look at all of the pomegranates on these trees. So many pomegranates on that tree. There's some on this tree. Okay, what I want to look at though is this garden over here, my recyclable garden. Let's see. It looks like that tomato plant is doing good, and the Kakuzi squash looks to be doing good too. He's starting to put out runners, which is good. Oh, marigold popped up. Just one. Oh no, two popped up. Marigold. And I got that little pepper over there, but that's as far as he's gotten. So I don't think those other peppers are going to grow. But look at this. My hibiscus is doing pretty good with all those weeds in there. These bean plants, maybe they aren't pole beans. I thought they were. I looked them up. I thought it said that they were, but it doesn't look like they're trying to grow up anything or put out tendrils or anything. So, and then this pumpkin, well, it's a sweet meat squash, winter squash. It's doing good. The tomatoes look to be doing okay. These other beans, the same thing. But one I know is, it's a noodle bean. I planted noodle beans, and I planted yard-long beans, I think, over here. I think those are the two beans. Yeah. Yeah, this one right here is the Chinese red long noodle bean. And this one is just the regular yard-long noodle bean. They should be growing up the trellis, but they look like bush beans. I don't know, I guess I'll give them some more time. More roselle surrounded by weeds. Oh, my tomato is doing good over here. I wasn't expecting that. He's got a butterfly on him. I wasn't expecting him to be doing well. And then look at this birdhouse gourd is trailing off here. I'm gonna have to get him up on this trellis. Because what's the point of having this beautiful setup of trellis and nothing's gonna grow up it. So those volunteer tomatoes are doing good. It looks like I need to go over there and pick some more. Look how red and pretty those are up against that white fence. That's so pretty. But yeah, they're growing really good. I think next year, see, this gave me ideas. I think next year I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna plant some cherry tomatoes in these brick and let them vine out and grow, and then just attach them to this fence. And so it's gonna be different colors of cherry tomatoes along this fence line. That would be really pretty. I think that would be really, really pretty. Just seeing how that looks right now, how it all looks hanging on there right now, it just looks so pretty. Look at that. My tortoises are all inside right now. Look at this kitty. And he's got plants stuck to his face, leaves all stuck to his face. You like that, Sonny? Is that your new adornment, huh? He is so gorgeous. Well, you guys, this is the backyard garden. It survived. And for the most part, it's doing really, really good. None of the stuff that happened to it is my husband's fault. He's been doing what he was asked to do. So all of that, it turned out good. Wow. I'm really happy with this. It just looks nice. The front yard doesn't look as good though. And I'll do a separate video for the front yard to show you guys the front yard and talk about what's new out there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and Sonny and I will see you in the next one. And as always, you guys, God bless.